Hey Polytopians! The rework of the Aquarion has emerged from the deep. We added new content, reworked old content, and gave the Aquarion tons of new stuff to play with. Welcome to the channel. Let's dive right in. The Aquarion have always been water-focused, which makes sense. They're fish people, so we wanted to align them to that idea much better, blending them with the water in some very unique ways. Of course, that affinity for the seas comes at a cost, as the Aquarion do have difficulty on land, but don't worry, they've got some tricks up their metaphorical sleeves to help them contest those pesky land cities. All Aquarion land units have been replaced with mermaid variants, which means they have a tail, and it means that all the Aquarion's land units are now amphibious. Otherwise, they function identically to their land-based counterparts. Aquarion now starts with a warrior, their unique flooded terrain, and the ability to build land structures on the water. And speaking of flooded terrain, let's talk about that. The Aquarion territory is made up of this new type of land, called flooded, which is also accessible to naval units. Once they research the waterways tech, Aquarion land units are also able to spread this flood. But be careful, flooding a tile will take the unit's entire turn, so make sure you keep them safe while they do so. And no, you can't flood a mountain. Think about it. Other tribes are able to landfill a tile, which is like flooding, but in reverse. Before we talk about their new units, let's talk about how we changed their old units. Amphibians haven't gotten any important changes, that they've just simply lost the fortified trait, so they won't gain defense bonuses in cities. But otherwise, they're perfect. Tridentians have been moved from the role of speedy shoreline harassment to mobile mop-up crew, as they lost the fortify and escape abilities in exchange for persist, much like the knight it replaces. Their attack stats have been slightly adjusted from 3 to 2.5, but they're still ranged, and more than able to clear a beachhead with minimal help. The crab stats are essentially unchanged, but now they have the auto-flood ability, which allows them to automatically flood land tiles they walk onto. Speedy, amphibious, tanky, and able to bring their fishy friends onto land without effort, the crab is now the kaiju we all knew they could be. Instead of the scouts and rammers and bombers everyone else uses, we figured it was time to make Aquarion a bit more fun by giving them new naval units. You'll find sharks in marine life, the replacement tech for sailing, which also allows all Aquarion units to move onto deep water tiles. Sharks are quick, all-around melee units that excel at zooming around the waters and eating unsuspecting ships. Since they have surprise, they're able to swim up onto enemy units and attack without retaliation. Sharks are great for taking control of the seas. These giant jellyfish are unlocked in navigation. They're defensive units that function similarly to juggernauts, dealing damage with their tentacles in a radius around them as they move. Unlike juggernauts, enemy units that move next to them will also be damaged, so they're good for holding down an area. That even includes dealing damage when you train them. Jellies aren't able to become veterans, but they do have 20 HP, so they're pretty tanky. This spiky fellow is a puffer, and they're unlocked in the mathematics technology as a replacement for catapults. The puffer's drench ability allows it to flood any tile it attacks, and you can even use it to flood tiles that aren't occupied by an enemy. They're good for prepping an area before you invade, or just long-range bombardment from the ocean. Being fish people, the Aquarion don't get ports anymore, but they do get 1.5 new aquatic buildings instead. Unlocked in the new waterways tech, which replaces roads, the atoll is the Aquarion answer to things like roads and ports, creating trade connections between cities. They're a lot like the Salmontes mycelium, but can only connect cities over ocean, coast, and flooded areas within 3 tiles. They cost 5 stars and can only be built on aquatic tiles, so you may need to flood some tiles to get some cities to connect. Our friends the Aqua Farms are back! As you might know, we added Aqua Farms to all tribes in the Path of the Ocean update, but removed them for feeling redundant. Well, they're the perfect fit for Aquarion, allowing them to get population on those coastal and aquatic cities. They cost 5 stars, provide 2 population, and even work with windmills. You can find them in the aquaculture tech. Nabbing those land cities is now a little tougher for the Aquarion, so we gave them an alternative. If you uncover a ruin on the water, instead of getting the normal bonuses, you'll get a city. Yeah, a city on the water. It functions like any other city, and can even be captured by your opponents. Use these lost cities to reinforce your troops, or hold down an area. The construction tech is a little bit different for Aquarion. Instead of burning forests, they can create spots for farms on flooded terrain by using the fertilizability. Other minor things you should be aware of are that roads can be built on the flooded land, but Aquarion units can't use them. I mean, they've got flippers. To give us your thoughts on this rework, head to the official Polytopia Discord server. A link to the official server is in the description. Also, remember to like and subscribe, if you haven't already. It really helps us a lot. And special thanks to eSpark from the PolyChamps team, and Tolby for helping out with this video. Go check out their channels, links are in the description. May your oceans be deep, and your waters calm. Thank you for watching this video, and be on the lookout for more Polytopia updates in the future.